So, my dear souls, in the morning also I was privileged to be among you. But this is my main concern, that you should know what you are, how great, how wonderful you are. When everything was made by God, all nature was there, all trees, plants, and other species of life were also there. He made everything, and it was wonderful. Man was not yet created. Then God felt like that all this beautiful nature, everything has been made, but who will know the Maker? Who will know the Maker? And then God felt like that I should be there in this world, because I can only know myself. Nobody can know how great I am, how wonderful I have made, and that how to use all this, what is wonderful, and what is the characteristic of each thing, and that there should be no worry, no problem, no suffering, no disease anywhere. And as I have made my own holy heavens of the lower worlds, no doubt some other material had to be used for creation. That if there is only one kind of fruit trees or flowers, you will not feel like going through all the garden, because you will find everywhere is the same thing. But if there are varieties and varieties, different and different, then everywhere you will find something new, something more interesting, something to be attracted, what it is, what this is, what good it is. This is the way that God had to make some kind of creation of different kinds, different ways and means and of different kinds. And then he was to know it and he was to enjoy it also. And that is why the man was created in his own image. In his own image created he him, his own self. And then when he created the man, then he called all the angels and ordered them, bow down to this holy man. This is our greatness, that what is the feeling of God for us, how great, how wonderful we are. Sometimes we are very much talking high and thinking high of the angels, that they might be very good, very wonderful, and we may also be blessed by them. But it is not the case. As per creation of God, the angels were ordered to bow down to us. And then someone was there who asked a question, that, my dear God, it is okay that we have to bow down to your commandment, because you are stronger and you are ruling and you are controlling us. You cannot do anything what you do not like. But something, explanation we need. If you allow, we can put this explanation so that we may be able to do really what you like from our hearts after understanding it. Then God already knew it. What can be the question of these people? However, smilingly allowed them. And the question was there, that this man is made of dust of this earth, but we are made of very high quality of material, and we have a very long span of life. But the man is instantaneous. At any time it can die. And we have got many powers in us. And the man is very weak. And we have very big qualifications, knowledge and wisdom we have got, but the man has not got. And in this way, still in some other ways and means, we are superior and much superior to the man. And it doesn't look nice that a lower one should be bowed down by the higher one. The lower one is to respect to the higher one. Then God accepted us all that comparison which you have made with your bodies to the body of the man. That's 100% agreeable. But my dear, you have neglected what is inside you and inside the man. That inside you it is nothing. You are only what is outside, as is the law with all the creation, except the man. That all are just only their bodies. But the man is special. It has been made temple of God. And then God explained to them that firstly, this is my house in which I am, and that the man is not only man, as you say, the physical body is made of dust, but I am here in it. You are most holy one, most powerful one, and you are maker, you are creator. And you all are also in him. That all the creation which I had made has been put or accommodated in the human body. That human body is connected with the physical outer body made of material to the material world. But the astral body is connected with the astral worlds. Causal body is connected with the causal worlds, you, all the angels. And supercausal body is also there to be connected with the liberated ones. And there are higher spiritual bodies which are also connected to the higher spiritual regions. That is, there is no place in my creation where man is not provided to reach. And to my own place, my kingdom also is open for him. Rather, my lap, my heart is open for him. And at last he is to come back to me after purifying himself, making himself and deserving me, then he will come back to me. This I have provided. And then all had to bow down to the man. Now one thing only we have understood, which is just apparent as per our existence as physical bodies, that as all other animals have physical bodies, and they also know their physical bodies, their physical relations, and also connection with this world, and how to maintain their bodies, and how to feel little problems, troubles, and as far as possible, also to arrange something if they can arrange against their problems or worries. In the same way, this is also the lifestyle of the man. But this is only at the level of animals that we are living, although we are at the top rank of the animal kingdom. We had been able to work very much higher and bigger and wonderful than the animals, but still we have not been able to touch any higher region than the material world. If we had gone to moon, it is also material. If we had gone to any other planet, it was only material. Although at the moon, there were also some astral beings living over there, and some causal beings also, but man could not come in contact with them. Even here, where we are living, even in this hall, or we go around, there are so many extraterrestrial and the causal beings and astral beings, and that's so numberless qualities, and so many are there who are going along. But we cannot know, we cannot feel, we cannot find them, because our eyes are limited only to the material. That with the body made of material, we are limited only to the material, and nothing is there that we can know. If you go through little higher, such that go up to the causal planes, there you will find cause of everything. That why you are suffering, why other one is enemy to you, why someone is friendly to you, why what is your brother, what is your sister, what are your children, what is their background, what they will do to you, if they are to disturb you only, or they are to help you, and what is the relation. All these effects which are going around, we are suffering or we are enjoying or we are bearing, causes of everything is there. There's nothing which can happen without cause. But we know nothing. And this thing is really hard for us, that if you are to go tomorrow and you are told today that you have to go to Eugene or to New York for this purpose, then you will arrange. You will not be astonished. But if in the midnight you are driven out of the home and you are not told where to go, and you are just driven just in the darkness, and then you are really like a slave or like a prisoner, that somebody is there just to drive you in darkness, and you are not allowed to know anything. And that it will be very hard for you. If you know something and some arrangement has been made, nothing is there to worry. That what is worry, what is problem, for which we are not prepared, and it comes all of a sudden to us. But anything which is found to us freehand, and we make arrangement for that, then it doesn't remain a worry or problem. And that our life will go on peacefully, easily. And that is the reason that this world has been made so horrible, only due to our ignorance which has been put upon us, that all our knowledge self has been taken away, and we are to live a great life, wonderful life, as God has designed. And that God has made our life of His own standard. And there is nothing else which is higher than that. If there is any higher standard of life, and most comfortable, most enjoyable, that is given to us, and we are not to work upon it, we are not to earn it. It is already with us. But where it is just lying by our side. But we are not allowed to look at it, and we cannot see it, we cannot feel it, we cannot find it, we cannot enjoy also. This is the fate which has been created to us when we came into this world, into the world of inert power, that it could not snatch anything which was given to us by God. Because it was connected to us, to our soul, and adjusted in the body. And the inert power had no authority to make any interference in it, but it had added body, mind and intellect, and it had control upon this. The body, mind and intellect, that the soul was disconnected from God, and body was ordered to take over the charge of the body, and that it is to use the intellect also, and go along in this world, and in this way go on suffering, and there is no chance for us to live in this world peacefully, not to talk of enjoyably, and never also to go back to our Father God. Because who is to go to Father God? It is only soul. Because as soul we are of the same essence as that of God. And it is written also in the Holy Bible that your soul bear the seal of God. It is of the same essence as that of God, and that give it unto God. Because it is of the same kind. Water can be added into water to become one. If two flames of the fire are little brought near to each other, they will bend to each other, and they will have affinity to become one. The two will become one. Like begets the like. In the same way, our soul, being of the same essence, same structure as that of God, has natural affinity to each other, and we will be one with God. But this is only for our soul, not our mind, not our intellect, or nothing of this world. It has also been declared that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, because it is not adjustable, it cannot be, there is no possibility. And here in this world, there is no possibility that we can improve our life of the soul, or even have our life, that we may act as souls. If you have got your brother with you, your friend with you, that friend will work, and that everybody will know that you have got your friend, or you have got your father, or you have got your mother. That is with you. And you will also know and feel and have some benefits of their services also. But have you got any benefit of your soul? And God is also there in us, and kingdom of God is also in us. There's a total 100% absence of ourselves as soul, and not to talk of God and kingdom of God, and we are only bodies. That's the great cruelty which had been put upon us by the native part very, very successfully. But our Father, who is our sympathizer, who has love for us, could not sit idle. He had also to suffer for us, and that it is told in all scriptures that as he spake through the mouth of his holy prophets, who have been since the world began, that God did not take rest, that now I have created and my will is working, but he had to continuously go on working only for the purpose to inform the people of this great change which the man has to know what he is and live accordingly and enjoy and go back to him after creating all this wonderful atmosphere over here, that as he had in his holy heavens, everything is wonderful, and this world is also to be having the same kind of situation, no problem, no worry, no disease, no suffering, no death, and that we have to live the same kind of life as it is in the kingdom of God. But man could not know it, could not understand it. All the scriptures are there, and translation of all the scriptures in every kind of language is also there, and very clear instructions are also there. But even if we go to those people who believe in those scriptures and believe in those masters who have written those scriptures, they do not believe anything of those scriptures and anything which is from that master. It is only some kind of lip sympathy, as you say to somebody on the road, good morning or good evening. It might be good, it may be bad to him. We have only told good, but we could not make it good. Saying something that this is sweet, let it be sweet, it will not become sweet. It will remain bitter because it is bitter. So your words are so vague and vague, having nothing, no power in it, that you go on saying anything to anybody. It will only remain a lip sympathy. It will not work in any way. When there was bifurcation of India, there were two now countries after that Pakistan was coming into existence. There was some transfer of the people somewhere, refugees, and somewhere accepting them. And that there was very hard, great bloodshed was also there. And the people escaped and really could come back to their safe place in just only their clothes. Somewhere the initiates of the master Baba Singh at that time, and that Baba Singh was also telling them that, my dear, don't worry, when you came into this world, what did you bring with you? It was small body. It was small body. You are not able to do, able to work, able to see, able to recognize, or to hear, or to talk in any way. You are just like a child. But it is the duty of God to provide any kind of or every kind of facility which is needed for the child. And in this condition, when the child was born, was brought up, and came into some big things also, quite nice things. But now if you have come, at least you have 3 clothes upon your body. And you have your feet, you can walk, you can work with your hand, you can see and you can understand, you know so many things to work, to do. Then why are you afraid of? And trusting God and in His doership, and everything will be wonderful. Then those people were explaining to the Master that these things also our relatives and friends, they say to us. But when they say, and then when we come to you and you say, there's a great difference on or effect upon our hearts. That those words which are from our sympathizers have nothing to do with our hearts. But when you speak, then we feel it is okay, it is true. We are consoled and we are relieved of the tensions, problems which we have suffered or which we feel like that we will go through. This is the power which is working, which is God power, which is doer power, that when somebody is there to give you some kingdom, he has kingdom, he will give you. And if you say, my dear, you will be a king. Don't worry, you will be king. But so many people will be there in this world who will go on saying, you are king, you are king. Or you can say, I am king, I am king. But nothing will happen. Because who has authority can only say you and will satisfy you and make you. And this is only with God power. And this God power is in all of you. And that all people are very much struggling hard and hard to be released of the pains, worries, suffering, diseases. I have also gone through these 70 years of my life. Let it be 20 years were in childhood, in ignorance, but at least I know the last 50 years that how the man had been struggling and is struggling. But no doubt we have got so many amenities. We have very much improved technology or other science. We have got so many inventions, buses, cars, loudspeakers, and these movies and these films and other things. So many things are there. In the last 20 years or 30 years, so much has been brought in this world that we are using. But if we just analyze our own life, about sufferings, problems, worries, diseases, there is no improvement. Diseases have increased, sufferings have increased, problems have increased. In our families, there are problems. In our jobs, there are problems. In our health, there are problems. Everywhere we go, there are problems. That all these amenities of the material world, although are serving us very nicely, but net result is not positive. It is negative, still going on negative. Rather, there are so many diseases more and more increasing, which are incurable, and that there is no remedy for it. And about of this knowledge is that what we are, what we were in the past when we are not in the physical body, and what we are in this body, and what will happen after the body, what is life, what is death, and that what is all this phenomena, we have got nothing, no, totally blank, totally 100% darkness is there. It is not our part of knowledge that we have to go through. that why we are suffering, why we are, and not to know what will happen tomorrow, that everything is known to us. Everything should be known to us. Why not should not be there? In the kingdom of God, no doubt, nothing is changed is there. But it is known to everybody that you have got the highest and finest kind of life, and it will remain forever. And you will find everything what you need, and there's nothing that you have to work or ask for. All supply is there already arranged for you. Then it is totally 100% that you are safe. The same system is even now. Same system. That as God has made us, be ye perfect. What kind of perfection? What standard of perfection? As your Father who in heavens is perfect. That standard has also been given to us. That we are to be perfect like Him as He is perfect in His kingdom as God. The same arrangements are here. And we can also be perfect. And it is not only written in Holy Bible or told by Lord Christ, but all the masters who had come from God, in whom God had been speaking, they told all the same thing. And the same thing, Baba Singh, my grandmaster, and my master, Sanskrit Singh, was really very strongly emphasizing upon us. Please have it, understand it, try to find it. But I am also sorry that in the time of Baba Singh or in the time of my master, very few people are there who could follow them and could find and could enjoy and were released. And now also I am a little worried about that will it happen in my time also the same thing? That what for? The sun is there. Sun is there to give light to all, not to any special ones, with no exceptions, to everybody. But how many are there who will open their eyes and will see the sun, will see its light, and will begin to live in light and come out of the darkness? Light shineth in darkness, but darkness comprehended it not. That the sun is there, light is there, but we have not been able to open our eyes. And it is still pitch darkness, and we will go on suffering this darkness, and there is no remedy to it. If there had been no light, then we would have opened the eyes and we could not have found the light. Then it was beyond our power to change our fate. But when we have been given everything, but we lack from our side, and we are told that everything is in you. Take heed that light in thee may not be darkness. That if it is darkness, it will be horrible. In Matthew, he has very clearly told that if thine eye be clean, your whole body shall be full of light. And that if your eye is unclean, it will be all darkness. And how horrible that darkness would be. That the darkness is really always horrible. Because you cannot see anything, you cannot find anything. What is there? Everything is, everything can happen to us, everything. Because we cannot see our hand even in front of us. It is so pitch dark. But only in the daylight, when there is all light, our life is there. We feel the great change if from the midnight darkness we are changing into daylight. We are really feeling ourselves a wonderful change in our life, good life. We cannot live in the darkness. We are to live in the light of the sun as per our outer physical worldly life is concerned. Then why not our real life, which is life of the soul? that can it go along in darkness? Will it be possible that we will be able to live in darkness? And that is the reason that we cannot live, we could not, and we are dead. And I am sorry to say that all the people who are claiming themselves to be living in this world, nobody is living. It only those are living who live as soul in the kingdom of God, in the light of God. In Him was the life. In the Bible also it has been very clearly proclaimed. In Him was the life. In Him. And life was the light of the man. Now have you found Him? And that after finding Him, that you have found the life, and now you can live that life. Is it not that, or we are moving phantoms of death, and to remain in death, and to remain in suffering? That this is the graveyard, this grave, in which we are dead. As soul, we are dead. And all darkness is there. Because when we look inside, there's nobody to look inside. Because our only can look outside. And that we only find darkness inside. Because there's nothing. And that when we are awakened as soul, then soul will be able to see all that light. Some people, even at time of initiation, they see sun, moon, stars, and big lights, some colors, and so many words, and so many patterns of the words, and so many wonderful things that they see. Who could see inside ourselves as soul, and we are in this physical body? Wonderful and wonderful. Our whole physical body is then full of light, and then we are travel upward, up and up, up and up. That at least at the time of initiation, we are taken out of the limitations of the physical existence, material existence, and at least we are brought up after awakening of the soul into astral regions, in the astral body. Some people even go up to the causal, and some people even go up to the supercausal. They see the moon also, third region, and some even go beyond even. And that they find that there is something. And that is really something very, very wonderful also. Some people, they say that they have found some love inside, some satisfaction, some peace, some goodness, and some fragrance also. Even on the very first day of initiation, is it not something to your satisfaction that if you are told that you have got this kingdom, and something is there available to you, and that is some people say that, okay, you are allowed, this is your kingdom, and then you should feel like that there is something for me, which belongs to me. So when you enter inside with the help of the Master, you go inside, and that is also the fulfillment of the commandment, that enter ye in at the straight gate, because straight is the gate and as the way that leads to life. But few shall be there who will find it, because very few shall be there who will believe these holy and wonderful dictates of the Master, the words of the Master. And this place has been told to be really something wonderful. Even in Revelations you would have read that when there was time of some kind of catastrophe, let it be, we say, and all these four angels were standing on the four corners of the world as it is written in the Bible. And then one angel from the sky, from God, came down and asked, don't disturb airs, don't disturb waters, don't disturb any greenery, till all those servants of God have been sealed in their foreheads. It is written in a long time back. What is sealing in the forehead? That everything which is out of that ceiling will have to suffer that if there is outside windstorm or hailstorm or snowstorm, everybody who is caught up outside will be really no more. For those who will come to the houses and are into the shelter, they will be safe. So this place, which is called Kingdom of God, as soul, we will be admitted into Kingdom of God, and there you are safe. There is nothing which will happen to you and that you are to enjoy. That space is indestructible. God is eternal, Kingdom of God is eternal, and you are also eternal, and that you are admitted into your own family, and there you are to enjoy. Is this thing not satisfactory? Is it not believable? Is it not that you are to accept it? Is it not that you are to work upon it? Is there anybody who can say it is not dependable, it is not believable, it is not workable? Even you may say it is not workable. That I cannot say, because anything which is already given to you, you are only to attend to it. And that when you are initiated, what you have worked upon it? What do you find? And this is the blessing of the Master, this is the blessing of God, that He gives you this birth of the soul and makes you out of the body and brings you into the Kingdom of God, and there you find something to start with. And then, as the child is in this world born, 24 hours is attended, and the child is also 24 hours living in this world. And then, in maybe 20 years or 25 years, the child is fully grown up and begins to live the life which is that of the mother or that of the father. If this body which is attended and trained and taken care 24 hours takes about 20 years or 25 years to become of some use, then why not our soul? The life of the body is small, 80, 90 or 100 years. And its training period is also small. But life of the soul is eternal. Millions, billions, trillions of years are nothing over there. You are eternal. And that if one life or maybe some lives are even to be devoted to this holy cause, then we should have offered ourselves. But our minds are very much unreceptive to all this. And that is the difficulty. But how the minds can be made receptive? This problem which is yours, I understand it. But you are not now minds. You have been awakened as soul at a time of initiation. A great change is there, that you are no more dependent upon mind or intellect or body or any outer circumstances. You are directly connected with the Master Power to the holy light and sound of God, and you are working as soul, and you are not to be controlled by the mind. And that you just ask for help from the Master and it will be there. What happens at the time of initiation? That if a mind had been really stronger to you, it would have never allowed you to come out of its own region. As if somebody, foreigner, is here in USA, and there is checkup at the border. And only those who have found some permission, some visa is there, only they will be allowed to enter your country. Otherwise, everybody will be left out. They will not be allowed. In the same way, if the mind would have been stronger, it would have never have allowed you to enter the Kingdom of God and to find any experience of light and sound, which is only from Kingdom of God. It is not worldly light or worldly sound. It is from God. It has its own wonderful characteristics. I should say sorry? No, don't worry. So, my dear, I am telling you very, very wonderful things. Which wonderful things which I am sorry to say, which have been brought from God. Is there anything which can be better gift, which is more valuable or more beneficial than what is there with you from God? Never it is possible. So, God is there who loves you. God is there who loves you. And the proof is there that he who loves you should be by your side. And his love is unconditional. It is not that you love him or he loves you because you are useful to him. You serve him or you do something to him. It is not the case. He loves you totally unconditional. And that there may be dacoits, there may be robbers, there may be atheists, even those who are criticizing God and say there is no God. God is still in them, has not left them as hopeless cases, or he hates them, that they are atheists, I don't like them, I cannot be with them. Till the end of the life, as per his commitment, that I love you all, everybody the same. And I will be with you, but for the purpose for you, that I will always keep my arms extended, and that you are welcome any moment. You sit in meditation early morning, late in the night, or in the evening or day, or any time of the 24 hours. And everything is available inside. Never you will find that there are certain times only when you will be able to find something inside. It is always gates are open for us, and we are always welcomed. And every kind of gifts are there. That what we had been able to find here in this world, or what we could not find. Everything is that oceans and oceans of supplies of everything is there. And why should not we find it? This is my question for you. No doubt, I am okay. I have found myself what my master had given me. I had worked upon it. I was initiated in 1965, about 34 years back. And I think, as far as I know, I had been meditating, maybe in any kind of situation. Sometimes I was working 2 shifts, let it be, that I was coming out of my home to catch the bus at about 7 in the morning, and was going back to my home at about 2:30 in the night. And then was taking some food and also taking some rest. And in the morning also I had to wake up and then take bath and take my food and to be ready to take the bus at about 7. Such like some special works were there which were there for some period, maybe 15 days or 21 days. And that it was so much busy. But in those days also I did not ignore meditations. I had some time to meditate because I knew that this is life, and that even at the deathbed, sometimes back I was very much ill, and that there was something very hard. But I was keeping on meditating and was feeling in my heart that, okay, if I die, I will die meditating, at least. Death is there. It can come at any moment. I am not afraid of it. But I will not die just attending to the word, I will die meditating. This was in my heart at that time. This is really the belief which we have to develop in our heart, that the Alpha and Omega is our life of the soul in connection with light and sound. And if it is there, everything is there. If it is not there, then we are dead. In him was the life, life was the light of the man. And I do not suffer in any way in the world, although I was meditating since 1965. I was initiated. Never, I think, I did meditate less than 3 hours, and that maybe 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, I was meditating. But I was not slack in any way in my duty, that if you go and see the records of my services, everything is correct. And those works which were not attendable or were accepted by other people, all were given to me. And I had got a habit not to deny. I was feeling, okay, whatever what you give me, I will do it. Because I had such like tendency. And when I found so much overwork, that I had been sometimes doing work of 3 people, 4 people also. And that such great burden, I never did complain, but I went on, and where there was any difficulty and problem, although I was not initiated at that time, but I had faith in God. From very beginning, such like a background was there, that I had faith in God, and I was feeling that God is there to help me, and there is nothing impossible in God. Everything is possible in Him. And everything turned out to be quite nice, quite wonderful. And everywhere I was to be given credit. Not only in this world, but I could also find quite good credit in the kingdom of God. That my worldly life was successful, and my this spiritual life was really successful. This is the way of life. It is not that when you are accepting the life of kingdom of God, you will lose everything in this world. But the kingdom of God will take care first of your worldly life. It is a ruling like that, that when you are initiated, Master only will not take care of you, but he will take care of your 7 generations even who have died, and you do not know the names of those persons. But unluckily, if they are lying in the health, they will be also taken out of the health and will be taken care. And so many other people, not only your relatives or family members, but even your friends, whom you had been meeting sometimes in the back, they are also taken care. A few months back, there was a man who was initiated by me. He found the insight in meditation that his friend was in some kind of health, and that he was just fitted into some kind of like horse cart or bullock cart, and that he was being driven, he was driving that like a horse or like a oxen, and some people are really, devils are beating him as the people beat the horse or the oxen, very miserably, very mercilessly. And that those carts were also special. They were not having round wheels, but hexagonal, some edges that were up and down, up and down. Then what can be the condition of those beings which were being put to pull those carts on their necks like horses or oxen? But he was telling that Master was there, and Baba Singh was there, my Master was also there, and they told that this person is to be released. and that the payment of his sins will be made. Don't worry. That this is sympathy of the master power, that don't only serve you or help you or your families or your friends, even friends. Very well. Sometimes if they had a good morning or good evening to each other at some time, they are also taken care, because there is some relation, and that relation is taken care of by the master power. Such is great the relation of God power and master power. But our minds are totally having no understanding and no feeling, and therefore we cannot understand. If there is a person who is sleeping, you cannot help that person, awaken that person. And when that person is awakened, it will take care of itself. So you cannot help yourself at the level of body, mind, and intellect. There is no way. And any master also cannot help you. If any master who is competent to help you will first awaken your soul in kingdom of God, and then will help you, and then you also feel helped, and then you will go along. This help, wonderful, which is there, only help, which is from God, as designed by God for you, is available to you and has been given to you through the Master. And you are luckiest that if you had been a king, it would have been of no avail to you, because you would have been suffering as a king also. This is definite, that you only see the outer glory of the big people, but you cannot enter the hearts of the people. How horrible fires are there in their hearts, worries, problems, sufferings, and diseases are there, full and full. You might be feeling much better than them. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. But we have minds cannot understand. We only see the outer glory, that these people are very great, very wonderful, very much glorious. That outer glory is there, but you cannot see inside them. And if there is something given to you that you can see inside them, then you will thank God that you are not in that condition, and that you are just here and you are enjoying the best kind of life. If there is any kind of best life which is there existing in this world, this is there with you. There is nothing better than this life, because you are belonging to kingdom of God, and you are connected to God, and you are awakened as soul, although you have not worked. But someone is there who is there to love you and to serve you and to bless you, and that is the master power, which is God power or master power. It's the same thing. There is no difference between the working of God and master. If there is any God for us, I am sorry to say it is your master, because master is working God. God is somewhere. You don't know where he is, and he is also connected to you. It is that God which is there with you and in you, and that is responsible for you, and who has promised you that I will never leave thee nor forsake thee till the end of the world. And this is also really working, that the Master will not leave your soul, as he takes his seat in his as his radiant form with your soul, till you are one with God. When you are taken to God in fifth lane, and you have become one with God, and Master is already one with God, then all you three are now in one, but still having your own individuality. But you can also say, I and my Father are one. And that state will reach, and there will never separation. Once we are united, connected, forever we will continue. Is this not really wonderful? Is this not really agreeable? And what thanks we can pay to the Master? If somebody gives you a cup of water, you feel like thanking that person. Even from your heart, not only is it something you feel like. But what is the value of this cup of water? But if somebody has given you God, and somebody has given you kingdom of God, what can you be feeling like to be feel obliged to that person? There is nothing no possibility. In Indian scriptures, in Adi Granth, it has been explained that when we find a master and when he has connected us with this holy light and sound inside, then we are to devote our life 100 times a day. What kind of devotion? That we are to cut our head and offer our head to him and serve him without head. It is some kind of feeling of the heart, although it is not practically possible, but feeling of heart is like this, that I will serve. If I have to give anything to sit to the Master, it is my head. He will sit on my head, and I will serve him without head. This is a kind of devotion of the heart, what is feeling of the heart, and 100 times a day, not once or twice, because one has understood what a great blessing has been showered upon you, and for eternity. It is not that you have to live in some hotel and you pay over there $30 for one night. Although you would feel like paying $30 per night, because that hotel person has given you some service and some help and some kind of residence. And you feel like you don't feel burdened with it. But if somebody has given you what you cannot imagine, what payment can it be there? But at least you give him what is harmful to you, which is not desirable for you. And what is that? That your body, mind and intellect hand over to the Master. And what are the possessions which we have also got of this world, which do not belong to us, they belong to kingdom of the evil. And what is from the kingdom of evil? That is only to hurt us. That all these things which have been given to us are not our sources of any kind of help. Because nothing can be there good which is from the nectar power. Because we are directly from nectar power. But when we come in contact with God, then He blesses us everything from His own kingdom. And then whatever we use from this world, He will pay the bill. Anything which we use, that will be His responsibility, that He will take care of it, and our accounts will not be burdened. There will be nothing in our accounts. We are totally free. At time of initiation, it also works like that. That Master cancels all our past big accounts. All the books are burnt away, and every payment is made to the nectar power from the big tears of Naam, which he had got with him from God and kingdom of God. And then there is nothing that nectar power can give you its slave. Otherwise, nobody can get these. It is law like that. You can well understand that if your child has gone somewhere and has undergone some debts, then if you want that you may bring your child back home, then you will have to pay all the debts which have been raised by your child. And as long as any debts are still pending, those people will not let your child go back and to be taken by you. You will have to pay back. So otherwise, if the Master is not there to pay for our all these debts, then we are there. And that it is not possible for us with our own efforts that we pay off our own debts. Rather, it is something arrangement that we go on increasing our debts. Because we have got this habit of making enjoyment in this world. If you are sent somewhere out of the family, that you go to the military or some other jobs, there you are spending very little. And you are feeling like sending to your family, to your children, to your wife, because you had gone to this job only for the purpose that you may maintain yourself and maintain your family. And if you are enjoying over there everything, and that not only you use up your salary, your payment, but you are also going on raising debts upon you, then you will not be able to go back, because those people to whom you have to owe something will hold you over there. And what about your family? What about yourself? And still this habit is there with all of us to enjoy. This habit is there with all of us to enjoy in this world. But if you go through the Bible and other scriptures, it is not allowed that we are to live as simple as the animals are living. As the animals are living a simple life, we should also go along with the same kind of life. Let it be, I say like this, because it is like this. But still I allow you something better life. But to be simple in life is to find life. And this is an aphorism which has been made by my master in his books he has told. It is a slogan by him, that to be simple in life is to find life. And then be simple and be simple. That your life should be as inexpensive as possible. Try to live on nature more. And you will have to work very little for maintenance of your life. As I also find that in India there are still such like places where one person is earning and 10 persons are living upon. Because life is very simple and there is not much expense. So on the earning of one person, 10 persons can go on. But here in these Western countries, I find that the man is working and the woman is also working. Till both are not working, the standard of her life, which is here in these countries, is not met with. And that is really the main cause that the Western culture has not been able to develop spiritually, and they had built much more physically in the worldly life. And if we develop more worldly life, the other side will go down. Like the two pans of the balance, if one is raised, other one is down. So this physical world life is to be kept as low, as down as possible, and then your spiritual side will come up and you will be able to enjoy it. It is some kind of adjustment in you. Some people will be able to do just now, some people will be able to do after some time, some people will be able to do after 10 years. Sometimes I was also astounded that my grandmaster was giving all his salary to his master. And my master was also, when he was paid, he was giving all to the master. And then master was giving back something to him, and something was sent to his family, and the remaining was kept for the subsidies of the mission. Such like characters are also there. I have also found such like people who are acting like this. But they are taken care of. It is not I am to get their money. I don't need money. But I need being of you, that you are to enjoy. that this world is also to be kept along, and that the spiritual life, which is very important, that is also not to be neglected. That if you have, let it be 3 children, you are not to neglect any of those. All the 3 children, yourself, are also to be kept along. You are not to neglect yourself, and also not to neglect any child. Even anybody who come to your family is also to be shared with. So this life which is of the body is to be taken care of. But what is the top priority of the life of our soul? That how it can be neglected. And that we should take care that it is given the due share. And what is that due share? All of it, what we have. But let it be, masters have given this ruling of tithing. In Bible also it is told, in the scriptures it has also been told in Eastern and also in Western. And even it is given in nowadays that what you earn, 10% of your income is a must. And that if you do not take care of this 10%, then you have no love, you have no relation, you have no connection with this most important part of your life. And 10% is very easy, it is not something hard. And that it is given by God, as if your father, the father of the children, brings some apples and then hands over to each one 2 apples, 3 apples, 4 apples. Then one child comes and hands back 1 apple out of 3. My dear father, this is for you. And others just go on taking all of it. Then how you can imagine what will be the feeling of the heart of the father toward that child who is giving back, although it is not from the child, it is really from the father. Father has given. But child has taken care that my father has given me such a wonderful fruit, so lovingly. But he has not taken anything. At least he may take or may not take, but at least I should offer at least. And that will go a long way into the heart of the father, and he will really feel devoted and what more and more blessings for that child. This will be also our case. But if we are only using everything for us and we do not take care of the giver, then we are under the law of karma. We have no connection with our great lavish giver, wonderful giver, and then we are disconnected from the great supply center, and then naturally we have to suffer. So my dear, these things are very simple, very easy, and that if you give something to the mission of Master, he will bless you 1,000 times more. Everything will be blessed to you, because he will really feel blessing to you, because he is not a demander, he is a giver. But he only have to be given our hearts. He needs our hearts. And hearts are really to be taken by him, and our hearts will also be safe in him and will be blessed when we offer our heart. And what is heart? It's not physical heart. It is this heart. This you are also to understand that heart of a person who is initiated is here. Because what are you? You are soul. And the soul is heart, which is from God. And this heart will go into the heart of God and be one with him. So we will be accepted by him and we will enjoy. And that is the life that you are to learn from here. And if you have come, you are all welcomed. I honor you, I respect you, and I will try to serve you everything as some kind of arrangements of your worldly life are also there, much more better than before. And still this can be better further, because it is you who are to make. As if there is a family of 5 or 6 brothers and sisters and some children are there, whole the family is responsible for the upkeep of the house. And if there are some people who are disturbing, they will disturb also. And that will result disturbance to everybody. But if they are all helping to make the house more beautiful, more wonderful, it will be responsibility of all that the house is now wonderful. So it is not that I am to make this outer house beautiful or other sevadas or who are working over here, but all the family members are there who are to share if there is any difficulty or problem. It is your problem, it is your difficulty. And if you are enjoying your own services. And that this whatever is available to you is to be satisfied. And then further, what is the planning that we may go on cooperating with it, because there is nothing which is made in this world. This is a law something, that you make something, it is made. You destroy something, it is destroyed. And if you do nothing, nothing is there. So we are to make. We are in the make ourselves, and we are to make because there is maker power in us, and we will be able to make everything wonderful, good and useful. What the worldly people make, they make their own prison houses and are imprisoned in them, and all are under the law of karma and bound with it. But any services which we do to the mission of the Master, these are all to make you released of any kind of bondages made from millions and billions of years. Everything is cancelled, and that Master takes care of you, and he can take care of you. There is nobody else, because he is God in him, and he is fully perfect and competent, and has also all love and all sympathy for you. So you are all welcomed. You are here in the house of God, although it is not yet possible to make it really house of God, but you are to make it. That there is something wonderful and wonderful and wonderful. In India, over there, there is a gathering of about 100,000 or 200,000 also for 2-3 days. And although there are not much arrangements for living, because of such like huge gathering, it is not possible. But at least food is available to everybody. And anybody who comes over there, maybe from neighboring villages also, sometimes people can come, but nobody is checked up, and everybody is given free food. And that everybody has to give this given this understanding that this is house of your Father God, and you are to enjoy it. You are not feel like that you will have to pay for it. But still, there are such like donations are there that even we have not asked anybody to pay anybody, but everybody feels like that if I have taken food, I have to not only pay for but I have to pay for 5 people more. This general understanding in India, that whenever they go to such like places, they feel like I am not alone, and there are so many people who are not able to pay, and if I am able to pay, I should at least pay for 5 people. And I find that always there is some surplus to our requirements. And these things are going on, and not at one place. There are 5 places like this, that all the year long the kitchens are, free kitchens are running, and everything is going on wonderful. And the same thing will come in these Western countries even. And that much more better even, I can say. But still, the hearts of my dear ones are to be little awakened more as soul. That your souls are yet so weak that the minds are yet controlling, and that the things are not coming up in right direction. The mind pushes in the negative direction to enjoy and not to give anything. To enjoy at the cost of others. This is general tendency of the minds, to enjoy at the cost of others. But when soul comes, it feels like everybody should enjoy, I am only to suffer, as is the case of the God power and master power. That what is the intention of the God? That everybody should enjoy. There, no one should be there who is to suffer. And what he does, he comes in the body of a man and goes on serving everybody, and takes up all the sufferings from all the dear ones who join him. But where there are barriers, there is blockage. That is difficulty. That master is prepared to make everybody free of and release of suffering problems, but no one is to suffer in this world. And he has made this arrangement also that all are to be connected to the holy light and sound. Maybe about 3 hours a day, if the people meditate, then there is all help, every kind of help is there. But when the people are disconnected, and those people who are not initiated, there is no connection, there is no help to them. Apparently, secretly it is going on, side by side, as it is going on to all the animals, all the birds, all the other species of life. Everybody is under help and guidance. But a direct flow which is there, that is not available, that is which is very, very specific and direct and intentionally. And that is there for everybody who goes along with such like all disciplines which have been enjoined to you, and that at the time of initiation all these things are there. Very specifically, everything which is told to you is having a meaning. And if you go through all these instructions and you are also complying with these instructions, then every kind of help will be there. But you are also to be little receptive, make yourself receptive to the supplies of God, and that everything will be okay, everything will be wonderful. So life of the man has been made very, very wonderful, but very, very nice. But it is all to be adjusted in the kingdom of God through the masters, through his instructions, through his guidelines. And there is all guidance, all help is there, and that the holy gatherings are there, what we call satsangs, and books are there, and so many people are there who are working as preachers, initiating representatives or missionaries, what we call sometimes, and they have all been given some kind of instruction and also powers. That master power will be responsible for them, for their services, and that their services to the people of the world who are in sufferings, who are in darkness, will be there, and all will come out of the darkness and will also find the sound, which is the creative life principle of God. And you will be able to connect all of them, because I, one myself, cannot teach all the people of the world. It is not possible practically. And that all you, every one of you, it is not some selected ones, but because all you are soul. And no one is there who at the level of body, mind and intellect can serve the mission of Master. When you are souls, anybody who is initiated, that one offers, one will be given this chance and will be given also authority and power also, competency also to work. Because Master is sitting in your bodies. And he will use the body of the initiate as his own body, and that is the work that master who is sitting in all these missionaries or initiating representatives as we call, that master is working in them. It's not you. You are not burdened and you are not worried about, and you are also not working ego that I will be able to help these people and these people will benefit from me, or I will be able to give some good satsang which will be much effective. No, that is not your ego that you have to feel like. You have to surrender to the doership and great, wonderful doership of God, which is working in the master, and you will go on working, and you will be finding that all those people who are initiated by you are really having some very wonderful experiences, and wonderful satisfaction is there to them, and they will all be connected. So, my dear, this is the age in which the humanity needs very much help, and they need us very much. There is no hope, as you also understand it, that the condition of the world is there. That is only God that who can help with this world. Otherwise, there is no hope. All we have made only destruction, such like horrible nuclear weapons that we have made, that if just by chance there is some kind of blast, then whole of the world will be no more. All the countries of the world, almost all the countries have got such like horrible weapons. And much more, 10 or 20 words like this can also be destroyed. What is existent even now, and what is the future? Every day something more horrible is going on being made. And negative power can use it at any moment. What has been made by negative power, because more made by negative power. Anything which is destructive, that is made by negative power. God power will never make any such things. He will only make something wonderful. And that all these things which have been made by negative power can also be used at any time by negative power. And if there is any factor of safety, it is only with you. That with the power of God, everything will be okay, everything will be wonderful. So there is all safety. In India, when there was also invasion of Pakistan in, I think it ran 1971, that there were air attacks, and there were two families. One was initiated family, other was non-initiated. There were neighbors, and they had made their own trenches to be hiding over there at the time of the air attack. And just by chance, when there was a siren or alarm of the air attack, one person from the initiated family went into the trench of the non-initiated family trench. It was nothing. It was only a matter of 5 minutes. Even they were going to each other's home even. What is the difficulty if one person had to spend for about 5 minutes in the trench of the neighbors who had been living as neighbors and had some love also with each other. But those people did not accommodate him. And he was requested, my dear, it is only a question of 5 minutes or 3 minutes. I will go away. But they just did not listen to him. They just thrown him outside forcibly. And he had no choice just to run to his own trench in this time of danger, where there was any expectation of any bomb from above. And it happened that as and when he entered into his own family trench, there was a bomb which directly in the trench of the non-initiated family. And there were 8 members of that family. And they were all torn into pieces. When I also went over there in the morning, I could find nothing over there, just only pieces scattered here and there. And then I could feel like that such is a great power of the Master and God, that how this man who was initiated and was under protection of God power could be saved. Otherwise, there was no chance. It was not something normal that he was thrown out, forcibly out of the tent. It was not he was forcibly driven out of the tent, he was driven out of the clutches of death. Had to be toward the safety, although we could not understand, because we have not such like understanding, we have not such like power. But my dear, you are to develop this power. It is only you to whom I can say, and that I have hopes upon you, and you are hopes of the world, you are hope of God, and you are hope of all the suffering humanity, and also of all the living beings of the three worlds, that you can do something. Please do something for yourself and also for all other living beings. All these birds, all these animals are also suffering very much. That if such nuclear weapons are blasting somewhere, let it be human beings or military people will not only be suffering. All other greenery, all other animals, all these worms, living beings of water also you find. When the waters have been polluted, so much life in the water has been damaged. And when the air has been polluted, so many forest life has also been damaged. And so many birds have also been damaged. And that all this is going on. We have from those people who are used by the negative power, I'm sorry to say, that they are cause of such a horror to all those innocent ones. And why they should suffer? And you cannot save them. It is you can save, but with the power of God which is in you, it is to be awakened and go along with it, and everything will be wonderful, my dear. So try to understand what I say to you, and then work upon it, as I have requested you in the morning, not to meditate less than 12 hours a day. It is, I think, very easy. We have got 12 hours. Out of 12 hours, you can easily meditate 24 out of 24 hours, at least 12 hours. More or less you can adjust as you like. But what is my feeling, I have told you. Other adjustment is in your hands as you feel like. Now I will feel like that all of you may now sit in meditations, and I think other people who are to be given some help, who are having some entities, they might already have been told where to go and how to get help. I will try to help them. But don't worry, everybody is to be helped. All have entities. There are no one who is safe from entities. Where there is no God, there are entities. Some have very naughty entities and some are very gentle ones. This is the only difference. But their work is more dangerous. Well, as long as you are in darkness, you are not safe, my dear. You shall have to be in light of God, and only then you are safe and you can feel like living. So, my dear, start with your meditation. I think already you are in the meditation postures, because there is nothing special and that you have to arrange. You have got nice, wonderful chairs. Huh? And now, please close your eyes, all of you. All of you may close your eyes. Closing the eyes means that you have to withdraw your attention from the world outside and also from the body below the eyes, and try to concentrate your attention in front of the third eye center, where you are already a soul. And look at as small space as possible. In the darkness in front, a little elevated.